2001, a group of researchers did a study on the rise of internet addiction. Although it is not an overwhelming problem right now, as social networking becomes more popular and the internet becomes a bigger part of our lives, the internet will eventually turn its user into addicts. Internet addiction is actually being discovered as an underlying problem to mental health problems, which include depression, social phobia, and obsessive compulsive disorder, all of which can harm a child when in school. This study showed that since adolescents are still mentally developing, they are more prone to this addiction than adults. The reason being is because as a teen, one of the biggest aspects of their lives revolves around being social. Because social networks are on the rise, teens can be connected to their friends at every minute of the day. The social networks allow for them to be more social, but it greatly affects their educational choices. Instead of doing homework, most would prefer to spend their time on Facebook or MySpace. Also, internet addiction keeps students up later in the nights, which affect their sleep before school. Within this study, it was proven that girls are also more prone to addiction over boys.
According to the article To Deal with Obsession, Some Defriend Facebook by Katie Hafner, internet addiction has been rising in teens for years, especially teenage girls. Teen girls are more susceptible to being sucked into the social networking scene because they are much more involved in their social communities, and online sites like Facebook give teenage girls the ability to always be connected with their social communities. This addiction terribly affects many aspects of teen life, especially their education and schoolwork. Many teens have been realizing that Facebook is addicting and have been taking steps to prevent social networking sites from overtaking their lives. Many have asked trusted friends to change their passwords and limit their time online, while others have disabled their accounts. Whatever precautions these teens have been taking have proven successful. When they were distanced from sites like Facebook, their grades improved, they spent more time participating in activities away from the computer, and their sleep patterns improved. Addiction is a terrible issue, but it can be prevented by taking small steps away from the online social scene.
Over the years, social networking has increased among high school students. High school students use social networks such as MySpace, Facebook, Twitter, etc. in order to develop their communication skills. Although social networking has been beneficial for students to socially connect with friends around the world, social networking has affected high school students' personal life and education. In the article, Online Communication and Adults and Relationships by Patricia Greenfield and Kaveri Subramanian, the authors state, the challenge for parents and schools alike is to eliminate the negative uses of electronic media while preserving their significant contributions to education and social connection. Therefore, one is able to conclude that parents and schools are aware of how social networking is interfering with a person's education.
Most of the time, people use the internet as a way to escape from reality or as a way to communicate with others without having to worry about social consequences. The more frequent and common internet use becomes, the more prevalent internet addiction will too. Shyness has become a common trait found in 40% of individuals, with girls being the most prone to experience. A questionnaire was distributed among students to test the relationship between usage, shyness, and internet addiction. Results concluded that shyness does contribute to students' internet habits. The shyer the student, the more likely he or she will become an internet addict.
Based on our research and results, we concluded that social networking does affect high school students' personal life and education. Social networking limits the time of high school students completing all their homework assignments due to the fact that students have a higher interest of chatting on Facebook with their friends. Not only that, but students spend more time socializing with new people instead of spending time with their own family members. Certainly, if high school students maintain or increase the usage of social networking, students are prone to become an internet addict that is able to sabotage a person's education or life. Overall, we were correct in our statement that girls are more prone to becoming internet addicted and that the internet is slowly taking over the teenage community and it needs to be stopped before teens are completely consumed into the internet.
Just a small town girl living in a lonely world. She took the midnight